I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock.
Here.
Mr. Knotts.
Here.
Mr. Horn.
Here.
Mr. Boda.
Here.
Graham here. Mr. Simons.
Here.
Mr. Pitzhalis is excused.
Thank you. Ralph, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to the approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, a motion to accept the
I'll
agenda.
make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, we have the approval of the minutes of February 16, 2016.
I'll make a motion if there are no additions or corrections, that we approve the minutes of February 16th, 2016.
I'll support.
Been moved and supported that we approve the minutes of February 16th. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Moving on to public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak about anything that's not on the agenda? Seeing none. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have C1, January 13, 2016, Park Commission minutes. We have C2, February 16, 2016, Election Commission minutes. We have the C3 is the February 23rd, 2016, St. Clair River and Sewer Authority minutes. C4 is the February 2016 Building Department report. And C5 is the February 2016 Marine City Fire report.
I have one thing.
Yep.
On the Water and Sewer Authority, just to let you know more than anything else, on the back page, where we approved a couple of items to be spent at the last meeting, it says where we intended to have funds taken from. And in the first one, it wrote water, the minutes say water replacement fund, to keep that from being confused with the township's water fund. That should say water plant replacement fund. But we intended that to be the fund that's maintained by the Water and Sewer Authority, not the specific township fund. Just left a word out.
You
That's
got that, Dee?
all. That's all.
All right. Nothing else on the consent agenda?
And
Not a motion to accept as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Then moved and supported that we accept the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have disbursements. We have bills of $12,788.78. We have a payroll of $47,821.03. We have ACH payments of $20,192.47. And we have a tax account of $262,661.47, for a total disbursement of $343,463.75.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills in the amount of $343,463.75.
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported that we pay the bills. $343,463.75. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Boda.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Mr. Knotts.
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Graham, yes. Mr. Simons.
Yes. Motion carries. Next, we have, under new business, we have a purchasing of a new lawnmower that I had in your packet. I got two quotes on this. One is from Zimmer Sales, and the mower we want is this Exmark LZE 742GKC604A3. for the sum of, Zimmer's quote was $8,079. I also have a quote from My Deal of Michigan, and for the same mower, the same ID number, and their quote was for $8,071, and to be purchased through Zimmer Sales and Service, and is our local dealer. So the two quotes are only $8 apart. This is buying it under the governmental plan. So as far as lawnmowers, we had 5 lawnmowers. We sold the Ferris that we had in the fall in our auction. We're down to 4 mowers. We need 4 mowers every day. So thought we would buy another mower this year and put this in service and take one out and rebuild it as our backup. I was telling Mr. Horn, I don't think we've bought a lawnmower since I've been on the board. I don't ever remember buying an Exmark lawnmower. So our mowers are getting pretty old, so sooner or later, we're gonna have to start replacing them, and I say we should start now. And this will come out of our rental fund that we have, like we did when we bought the other DPW stuff.
Okay. As I understand what you just said, we're going to buy this through the Michigan fund, but the Michigan fund is going to use Zimmer as the dealer.
Correct.
Well, that's what I would prefer to have the local dealer on, okay.
And they're gonna service it, warranty work and that.
Right.
They're going to
Not
save
have
us
any
$8
problems.
by doing
Nope.
that.
And the other thing is, we just went out to Zimmer's and told them we wanted the governmental pricing. Well, he gave us,
71. This is 79.
it's $8 difference, so I mean, I think we should, I'm sure Mike will honor this $8,071. What it is that My Deal, they put out it to a vendor, a fixed price, and they handle the whole state, like if you were buying an air conditioner or a truck, like we bought the truck, that came through Red Holman Chevrolet. So-
Okay, I guess I'm still confused then. For $8, we're going to buy it directly from Zimmer. Is that the idea instead of going?
It's gonna come through My Deal, but through Zimmer's, correct?
Okay. I thought you just said they'd have to go to someplace else in the state to get it. Okay.
No.
Well, if nobody else has anything to say, I'll make a motion that we purchase a new Laser Z E-Series mower from Zimmer Sales, a 27 horsepower, 60-inch,
Just give
for
them this.
at a cost of $8,071.
I do need that.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we purchase this mower for our fleet of mowers. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, or roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock.
Yes.
Mr. Knotts.
Yes.
Mr. Horn.
Yes.
Mr. Boda.
Yes.
Cram, yes. Mr. Simons.
Yes, motion carries, we purchased the lawnmower. Next, we're moving on to unfinished business, is the hiring of the sewer plant operator at the sewer plant. As you know, we have Mr. John Warswick is retiring on the 31st of this month. We're still not gonna have enough time to get the knowledge from John, but I think we've got a really good workforce over there, and they should be able to train a new person.
There was some discussion earlier as to whether or not we wanted to replace them. What happened? What's the supervisor's
We tabled it for a
position?
full board at the last meeting, and I made the motion that even if we don't have a full board, we gotta move forward with this if we're gonna do it.
Well, the EPA requires we have so many employees over there.
Right, but that's as Mr. Horn said, it's a suggested amount of people that we have.
It's not a firm, I got a copy from, I want to thank him for answering, Mr. Bailey, for answering the question I had. But on here, it says in here, the superintendent would be considered one of the full-time operators. And then down here, it says what the letter from the DEQ dated December of 2001. It indicates that the same operators worked between both water and sewer departments prior to 2005. The staff was comprised of 3 operators plus 1 superintendent at that time. And then in 2005, the staff was increased. So I would like to see if we could just extend this for a few months to see how it works before we jump into it.
Didn't we used to have people who could work both places? They
We
had the
did have-
licensing to
the
do
way it
both, but
used-
we don't
yes.
anymore,
The
correct?
Supervisor
According
was
to this-
one. He used to go back and forth between water and wastewater for such a period of time. He's done work in the area, ran to the sewer plant, works so certainly at the time that it runs back to the water plant. That's the way it was when Jack Randolph was here. At that time, we decided to go with a supervisor or a superintendent for each plant. No more running back and forth. Dick Goldler was the last operator that did that, going back and forth. And we had decided to put a supervisor in each one. That's the way that's been for,
But according to the letter
So
here
years.
I got, is there used to be 3 operators and the superintendent. And the superintendent was considered an operator.
Was that before the superintendents got their own union, which made them
No, it's
not?
one
Well, we
time.
haven't, I
didn't have anything to
haven't
do
heard
with
of,
We didn't have, the union, there were no discussion with respect to the union on that. I have a question. I don't watch these guys every day. I don't deal every day with the plant. We have a meeting once a quarter that talks about business down the sewer plant. What is the position of the sewer plant superintendent and the supervisor?
That's the same position.
And what is that position? Do
To
we need
supervise, he has
No.
he has the license.
Does he want to
with
fill the
regard
space
to
with
hiring
the
another
body?
employee? What
He's,
is it?
and I brought the letter to the last meeting. He is advising that we hire another replacement employee. That
Okay,
is his
and
opinion, that we need it, and I think I read the letter. I should have brought it at this
that's
meeting.
fine. How about you? What do you think? I mean, you.
I think we need the person, most definitely.
Okay, thank you.
Everything considered, I think we need the person. There's more to it than I can talk about, but yeah, I really think we need the person.
I'd like to see us try it with 3 and see how it works for a few months.
I think we may see that already, but I think we should go ahead. I'm of the opinion that, the people that deal with it every day have the best handle on whether or not we need
I'm not opposed to
one.
hiring them if we really need them, but.
We need
if
them,
we
Don, I'm
don't,
telling you.
why-
Boss says we need them. I
I'd
mean,
like to try
and
it.
we've been operating that way.
Because it's going to take us
Save the
probably
township quite a bit of money.
several months to
Yeah,
get
it's
this
working.
person trained.
Or it's Canada.
Because once you got them in there, you
$70
ain't
an
gonna
hour.
get rid of them.
I agree. I'm telling you, we need the person. That is my opinion. You asked me my opinion, I think we need the person.
I make a motion that we begin the proceedings to hire a replacement for Mr. Warwick, who is retiring for the sewer plant.
I'll support that.
It's been moved and supported that we replace Mr. Warswick at the sewer plant. It's been motion made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Blackstock,
Yes.
Mr. Knotts.
Yes.
Mr. Horn,
I'm gonna vote yes, but under reservation, because I think we should try it.
Mr. Boda,
yes,
Cram, yes, Mr. Simons?
Yes. Motion carries. We'll have to advertise it to the union for 5 days, and then if we don't get somebody to take it, then we'll have to go to the street. And what we'd like to do is hire somebody with a license to cut down on the training for the money that we're gonna, there's people out there that have applied already that will be a good fit for that.
Yeah, we should get somebody to try to, if we can, with a license.
That's what I want to do, yeah, when we write that up. But when we advertise it to within here, I don't know, that's something I'm gonna have to look at the union contract and how they move around. Okay, motion carries. Next, we have the announcements. The presidential primary election will be held March 8th, which is tomorrow, the Township Hall from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So get out and vote. Let your voice be heard.
Remember, if you don't vote, you can't complain.
Okay, next we'll go on to members' comments. Mr. Horn.
I really don't have anything, except that the weather's starting to change for us. That's all
For the
I have.
better, I hope.
Yeah.
Mr. Boda?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Ms. Graham?
No, I would have just said, make sure to get out and vote, but they took care of that for me.
Blackstone?
Nothing, thank you. I have nothing this evening.
Nothing else? Okay. I'm just gonna say too, is let's get out and vote, and I don't know if we brought that back, Don, that we went to the road commission meeting. Did we talk about that last time?
No, I don't think we have.
Yeah, Mr. Horn and I went to the road commission meeting to see what they're gonna do for us, and we met with the engineers, and there's a deal out there that they're offering for a $5,000 investment. We can get $25,000 worth of stone, which Mr. Horn and I thought was a good deal. The bad part of it is we don't have that many gravel roads, so we're gonna work it out with them to probably do Recor Road, maybe a little bit up on Delaware, and maybe we'll do that Range Road up there.
They did mention they wanted to bring it all in at once.
Oh, it's-
Well, it's gotta come in by the
And we-
train.
And we couldn't do that.
They wanna do 500 ton per mile, so. But, the road commission is gonna work with us, so we're gonna
They're
take advantage of that, so.
They said
Well,
they'd
we
work-
could, can't
they
we
said they'd
loan
work
them
with
some of
us.
our stone and then get it back later?
Yeah, I told them, well, couldn't we pile it up in the park and then we'll use it as we need it? We wanted to use it on Bryson Lane, Mr.
Sure.
Horn, and, they won't go that way. But, other than that, just get out and vote, and I guess a motion to adjourn is in order.
I'll make the motion at 8:47,
Support.
7:47.
7:47.
It's been moved and supported that we adjourn at 7:47. That's an airplane. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to adjourn is passed. Thank you.